board meeting to order. Roll call.
President Byrne.
Here.
Trustees Hebda.
Here.
Cook.
Here.
Markwart.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Schwartz.
Here.
Williams.
Aye.
We
Here.
have a quorum present. Would everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any citizens that would like to address the board other than on anything that's on committee of the whole? Because if it's on committee of the whole, you can address it then. Okay. First item, Proclamation, Eagle Scout Noah Melcer. Okay. Is that your name?
Yeah,
You want to state it for the record?
Noah Melcer,
Okay. Where do you go to school now?
Vernon Hills High School.
And what year are you in?
I'm a senior.
Okay.
Good for you.
Is Mrs. Melcer here?
Come over here.
Oh, right
behind
there.
us Where you can shoot him this way.
My wife says hello. She told me if I didn't say that, I shouldn't come home
Just
tonight.
come over here where you can get the
You can stand anywhere you want.
Yeah,
You want-
Take a picture.
That's good, okay. All right, it's not like you don't know him, right? All right. Okay, whereas Noah Melcher is a Life Scout and Boy Scout Troop 273, Northeast Illinois Council, Boy Scouts of America. Noah attends Vernon Hills High School. The rank of Eagle Scout is the highest honor to be bestowed by Boy Scouts and stands for the ultimate representation of citizenship and good character. Noah's Eagle Scout project was a pet supply drive that encompassed Deer Path and Hawthorne Club subdivisions for Placing Paws, a local animal shelter. Noah received his Eagle Scout rank in a court of honor on June 30th at Or Shalom congregation in recognition of his personal dedication and extraordinary achievement. Now therefore I, Roger L. Byrne, President of Board of Trustees of the Village of Vernon Hills, hereby proclaim that Noah Melcher be congratulated and honored for earning the rank of Eagle Scout, dated this first day of October 2013. Noah, you want to accept your proclamation?
Yeah.
All right. You want to say anything first? Go ahead.
You don't have.
Give us a, come on.
He doesn't have to, that's okay.
Tell us, okay, how many animals did you place?
Well, we more got from the pet supply drive. We more got pet supplies, as in like dog leashes and dog food, and cat food, and so that helped the animals a lot more for them.
Great,
Okay,
good job,
And,
all right,
good job,
all right.
great.
Here you go, pal. Congratulations.
Thank you, Laura. Great job, great job.
Okay. Tom Cook.
Yeah, I just wanted to add to it. You talked about how Eagle Scout being, character and commitment. That I had the privilege of coaching Noah in volleyball, and the same qualities that you talk about with an Eagle Scout were there. He was, one of the guys who on our team was a leader and one of our setters in that, and just a great young man and perfect example of, I'm constantly hearing, well, you see all the bad news stories about the bad things kids do. There's a lot of people that do good stuff, and this is one of the best examples.
Absolutely. Thanks again, Will.
If you want to stay, you can. You have a prerogative.
But you don't have to.
Okay. Yeah. All right. What did I do with this one? I'm getting there. Okay, Oktoberfest, thank you. Village Manager Mike Allison.
Thanks, Mayor. Just thank you to a couple people. Monica Lundeen, who besides doing liquor licensing, also does Oktoberfest. Thanks to Monica for all her work. And Public Works and Police. And then, of course, I forgot the list, but all the nonprofits who participated. District 76, the Lions, the Cougars, and a number of other nonprofits in town were there and participated, and it's a great community event. So, thanks to all those people.
So it was a nice turnout.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to go this year.
Well, me and you both.
Yeah, so.
It's okay, that's right, you did. Okay, all right, thank you to all the people that assisted. Village Comprehensive Annual Finance Report and Management Letter, Finance Director Nakron.
Okay. I have in front of you the FY 2012-13 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. Just in summary, the general fund was up 1.4 million, but about 800,000 of that was a one-time thing when we defeased a loan from the VHAC fund that no longer made sense. But it was still up 600,000. I think a lot of the credit goes to the two gentlemen to my left, both of whom came in well under budget. We can also thank the Illinois Municipal League for their forecast on income tax. There's a lot of noise and static going on there, and fortunately, the actual numbers exceeded that by about $350,000. You know, as I point out, our cash balance dropped about $670,000, but that's very impressive in light of the fact that we made a $2,025,000 loan to the Park District this year. And we have pretty much, with the exception of FY10 and with the last 5 years, stayed in a pretty tight zone of between 19.1 million and 20.3 million in terms of our cash balance. And our fund balance has climbed about almost 5 million since it hit bottom in FY 2010. Net assets continue to, which is the overall measurement of the village, continue to decline, though at a decreasing rate. And this has a lot to do with the fact that that includes costs like depreciation. Until we actually do a new road or a major road reconstruction, we're really not adding to our road infrastructure from a strict accounting point of view. We're also getting better control over or reducing the TIF deficit as our revenues increase, and you know, and we now have reduced interest payments. So with that, our net asset picture is getting better. The TIF fund balance picture is getting better, and you know, sales tax has been improving over that period. So anyhow, I think those are the major points.
What's our bonded indebtedness right now? Between TIF and everything else?
Oh, that's about $22 million. Let me, and about, let me give you, let me see. We have about $22 million, of which, about 14 million are TIF related.
And the rest is what for the,
Well, the
VHAC?
VHAC, the communications center, the village hall.
right. Okay, to put that in perspective, I mean, I guess technically, what is our cap for bonding? Is it 5 or 8% of the equalized
You know,
assessed valuation of the village?
As a home rule community, it's good news or bad news is that we don't have a cap. But I think, you know, we know and have always acted responsibly and made sure as a practical purpose, it's the debt service we can afford for all practical purposes, and that's, that's how we've always gone.
Well, with that said, when we weren't home rule, what was the
It-
maximum we could have
It
bonded
was
out?
8% of our EAV, so that would be about $80 million.
80 million?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
I don't think anybody.
8% of what? Like 1.5 billion?
No, we have about $1 billion EAV.
Which is the,
I'm sorry, equalized assessed valuation, the assessed value of the market value of the village. So about 1/3 of the market value of the village.
okay. So that would be roughly 500 million?
No, we have a if
No,
you,
EAV, 1/3 of the 1.8?
if you put all the houses and businesses
Right,
and
and
retail
shopping.
together and valued it on the market, at least according to the assessor, we have about $3 billion worth of
Okay,
property.
and 1/3 of that.
1/3 of that is about $1 billion.
Okay, and then what's 8% of that?
About $80 million.
About 800 million. No, it's more than 80. 8%. Is it right? Okay, 80 million.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does Rosemont have a bonded indebtedness of $500 million?
I've never looked into that question. I'm sure their EAV is fantastic, but,
So it's,
And I'm sure they're home rule.
Yeah, they are.
well, we're home rule now, so,
Yeah.
so, I mean,
Not doing it.
I mean,
you know? So
I
that just boggles my mind. This is very good, Larry, not a,
Well,
this is
part
just,
that they
this is just to
open-
point out that, we're kind of frugal. So, that's a good thing. All right, do we have to take action on this one yet, or no?
no, this is for
right.
informational purposes.
Okay, Public Works Director, Village Engineer, Dave Brown.
Thank you. I wanted to alert the board in terms of two different meetings that are coming up on transportation issues. It's going to be too late for the general public because of the meetings are tomorrow. There's two of them, both at the CLC campus. The first one's a multimodal transportation improvement meeting. It's a public meeting. Essentially, they're laying out the 2015 to 2020 transportation plan. I'm certainly going to be in attendance. That's at Lake County, as I said, from 3 to 6 o'clock tomorrow. It's in Building C at CLC. When that ends at 6:30, there's a meeting, and this is more important, certainly for the village. Remember the 2006 consensus plan? Route 45 was voted number one within the county to be funded for phase 2. That was in 2006. It's 2013 now, and they've just started that. So over 7 years, that's the progress that we've made on Route 45. I'm going to be in attendance. This is an opportunity, as you know, I don't vote. An elected official could vote in attendance at that meeting. Essentially, each municipality is allowed to have one vote towards this consensus list. What would we recommend in terms of that? And I suspect we would support Route 45. So
So who wants to go tomorrow night? Elected official.
Yeah, like Dave said, it's very important. Aaron Lawler called me about it last week, I think it was, and he really urged us to attend because he's really going to push one of the last projects, right, Dave, on the initial list. 3 of the others are moving ahead, actually, is 45 in the village. So if we want to move it ahead, it's critically important to be there and to cast your vote and keep it on the priority list. And he's fully supportive.
I just wanted to say I cannot be there. I have to go to an event that my daughter's involved in Crystal Lake.
I'll go.
So
What time is it?
it's 6:30. I'll leave you the information.
Okay, we'll talk about where.
That sounds good. Sounds good.
thank you, Trustee Williams.
Barbara, if something comes up, call me, I can also go.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anything else?
Tonight I
That's
can't
essentially it.
Yeah.
We'll be able to speak our voice in terms of what's important in transportation within the county. So thank you for attending.
All right,
Thanks.
okay. Next is the omnibus vote agenda. Is there a motion to approve items A and B?
So moved.
Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Trustees Cook,
Aye.
Markwart. Aye. Schultz. Aye. Schwartz.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Motion carries. Unfinished business, approval of Kemper voucher list of bills dated October 1st, 2013, in the amount of $20,991.17. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call.
Trustees Markwart.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Abstain?
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of the September 17th, 2013 Village Board meeting
Motion to approve?
minutes.
Second.
Motion is second. Any comments, corrections, deletions? If not, roll call.
Trustees Markwart.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Hebda.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval and passage of ordinance number 2013-050, an ordinance granting text amendments to the village zoning ordinance and certain approvals for property commonly known as the former First Student Bus Company, located at 230 Butterfield Road in the village of Vernon Hills. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Motion is second. Are there comments or questions? Trustee Cook.
And looking through this, looks like everything we talked about at length last meeting is all here, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Staff, it doesn't have any concerns or questions?
No, sir. We have our contact person in the audience here, and we know who to work with if we got any problems out there.
Who's the contact person?
Hey, Victoria.
Who? All right. Okay,
I have
there's, you got a question?
I have a comment.
Trustee Williams.
Just for the record, I will be abstaining because I work for First Student.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I can understand that, okay. All right, but, all right.
34
If there's no
years.
further comments or questions, roll call.
Trustees Schultz.
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Williams.
Abstain?
Hebda.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
Markwart.
Aye.
If for the record, I'd vote aye. Motion carries. Okay, welcome to Vernon Hills.
Sounds better than last time.
Sit.
And you guys can go if you want to.
You ever talk?
No.
Well, then you,
You had fun last time, I thought.
then you stay.
I got one question for you, why?
All right,
I have a question, but I can't ask it.
all right. New business, approval and pass of resolution 2013-156. Resolution granting approval to operate an outdoor special event for Mariano's at 1740 North Milwaukee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I can give you a brief summary. This would
You
be...
ladies want to come up and hawk the store? Nobody knows where it's at. Nobody shops there, you know.
Oh,
When is it closing?
Never. We're actually gonna expand. I'm just kidding.
I know you are. Okay. Now, Mariano's is doing very, very well. All right, so in essence, is there a motion to approve?
So
Oh,
moved.
trustee Cook.
This is basically the same thing they did last year, correct?
Yes.
I did have one concern, though. When I went over there today, and this kind of goes to Mike and that, I was very disappointed to find that in order to get over to examine the space that you're going to put this in, I had to walk in the roadway because the sidewalk is completely covered with shopping carts. There is no way to go from your one entrance to the other entrance without going into the roadway. And I was surprised to find that. I mean, my wife does all the shopping for us, so I haven't been there in a while, but that's not the place for storage of the carts, is it?
No, the carts should either be stored inside the store or inside the corral.
I mean, it was hundreds of carts, and there was absolutely no sidewalk available to walk on. None. And I was amazed, because I had to, actually walk in the street to get to where I wanted to look at the main entrance to your store. So,
What say you?
Do you have our image of our store? Is that?
I can show you the picture I had today. I got it here on my iPad if you want to take a look at it.
Yeah, and I can.
Oh, we
kind of
can't
ex-
beam this up?
Beam me up, Scott.
We're not
Hey,
quite-
Mike, can you put this on our screen?
Well, Stuart's up
Stuart,
there.
no.
While
Stuart, well, I didn't know
while
that.
trustee Cook
I
is,
apologize.
He's saying no,
while
he can't do it
trustee
because
Cook's
it's on
getting
his
that,
screen.
I should
That's
say
what I'm talking
too,
about.
So, the actual,
Zero sidewalk.
it's actually to the left and where we.
I know that. I don't have a problem with what you want to do over there.
It just
The problem I have is, this is something else, and I wanted
Carts
you
are on the
to
sidewalk.
take it back to them.
Another problem.
Yeah, this is a separate, this is what I'm talking about, is that to go from, you want to put it over here,
Yes.
to go from this doorway to the other doorway. I came from the other doorway to this doorway. I had to walk in the roadway here, because this whole sidewalk is this hundreds of carts.
I believe is what they've done is that normally they're to the far left or to the south. Due to the display of things that you have there now with the pumpkins and everything, they're over to the far right.
Yeah, and I was just surprised
I
that
do know, sir.
there's no sidewalk anymore, and that's a problem.
I go to Lowe's.
It's a separate issue from
and it-
from the other,
Trustee Cook, I'll follow up with the store manager
Yeah.
specifically tomorrow. And as I stated, they either need to be in a corral or inside the store. So we'll follow up and make sure that they get into a compliant
What
location.
time are you there, Tom?
about 5 o'clock tonight.
Trustee Koch, we can
Yes.
definitely address some of it, but I definitely request going to the store director. There is a pumpkin display outside with bales of hay that we are using to sell different types of pumpkins for the season. And most likely, the store director will respond with just moving some of the carts inside of the
Well,
store.
the thing is the carts are not supposed to be stored in front of the building like that.
That's correct, either in
Yeah.
a corral
At
or
all.
inside the store.
Yeah.
And that's what we're going to request the manager to do, put them in one of those two locations.
And that's why I was surprised to see that, because, and that's a separate issue, but as long as you're here, I might as well address it, because
Trustee
it just
Cook,
happened to be
Can they
tonight.
be all stored in the store, or if you added a lot of,
Yeah.
probably added a lot of them, right?
We can definitely store them at the front of the store. There's room.
I mean, inside the building? Is that where they're supposed to be?
Yeah,
There's some that's
Inside the
stored by-
building
by
or in the
Lowe's.
corrals that are in the
Yeah.
parking lot?
Yep.
Well, if
So there
they,
isn't enough room for
If-
all the,
if there's not enough
Carts.
room, if that's the answer I get, then we'll need to work with Mariano's to come up with a plan where they can be permanently screened or add corrals or an
screened.
alternative
the
plan.
sidewalk.
Trustee Cook is talking, just getting
On the
from
walkway.
one of the doors to the other door,
Yeah,
walking outside, unless you're gonna just tell everybody to walk through the store, right?
There is an option to walk through the store.
Well, I know it's an option.
right, but there's a
Well, people
reason
are-
there's a sidewalk there. It's
Correct.
because it's a sidewalk, so.
Yeah. Now, Trustee Cook, can I add to that? Mike and I have talked about that. A lot of times, it's a wonderful thing to have, but they have a little mission creep where they have the pumpkins, because I do go there a lot. And, you do have to walk in the roadway.
No, the pumpkin
If you
display, I
park
was
on
able
the
to walk
south
by and
side.
stay on the sidewalk. He had 4 or 5 feet of clearance. That
Right,
was a
no,
piece
no,
of
but I
cake.
mean, normally, a lot of times when they have things going
Yeah.
on there,
Yeah.
mums or flowers, whatever time of year it is, that stuff, or at Christmas time, it starts creeping out to the edge of the sidewalk, so people do have to walk. Because
Right.
I have my secret spot I park.
But I mean,
at
today,
Sullivan.
the pumpkins and all, it was no problem. There was plenty of room there. It was the carts on the other side of the door. So I just thought I'd bring it up because it just happened to be tonight, so.
Trustee Schultz?
As a follow-up question, though, do they need to get a permit for those outdoor displays? I mean, I'm just trying to be fair because I held Michael's feet to the fire for all their displays out front, and what's fair is fair, so.
Yeah, the board approved an outdoor merchandise and display sales permit right at the time that Mariano's opened up. So that area in front of the store, there's designated areas, as long as they stay on the sidewalk, that they're allowed to have their displays. They are required to keep a clear access of at least 44 inches between the curb and the display area.
Okay, can you make sure that they're in compliance? Just being fair, because.
Yes, we'll do that.
We've held Michael's to a fairly high standard, so we need to hold them to an equal standard.
So we need a
Back
motion to
the
approve.
business of this evening.
Yeah,
Motion.
motion to approve.
Yeah, second if no one seconded.
Motion and a second to approve. Roll call.
Trustee Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Are you two covered under health insurance?
Yes.
Huh?
She said yes.
Yes.
Really? What are you, from Milwaukee?
No.
How many hours a week do you work there?
60?
A
A
lot.
lot.
55 plus.
Do you get paid for how many?
65 plus.
Yeah.
Really?
Say the right thing. Be careful your boss is watching.
We won't tell 'em.
Probably. Okay, motion
A lot.
carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
All right. Trustee Schultz.
I'm assuming we're looking for new business and communication comments, and this is something that I previously discussed with Mike Allison, but I wanted to formally bring it up, is to have staff investigate the potential of some parking relief for those homeowners on Deer Path Drive. I'm seeing more and more cars parked parallel in the apron space, and I truly am not a fan of that, whether or not that's can be considered legal or not.
Sorry.
Get him?
Spider. Got him.
Got it.
Good.
So we have issued, I know in one particular case, a variance to a homeowner who had his driveway replaced, but previously he had it widened to accept 3 cars wide. And just kind of cruising up and down Deer Path, I think most homeowners could, in fact, implement a 3-car wide driveway to give them one additional spot. So what, and I'm not suggesting we change the curb cut. What I'm suggesting is just that we add or give them the ability to widen their driveways, either, increasing the asphalt or concrete width sufficient to get 3 cars jammed in there. That would require a change in the, I guess, the local zoning ordinance, and I'd like to keep it specific to Deer Path because they have no parking available to them. So this basically is just a request to staff to begin the process of investigating this. I know the mayor and I are acutely aware of some of the citizens who have gotten tickets for their cars hanging
Right.
over the sidewalk.
It would only be from Sullivan,
Exactly.
south to
Right.
45.
Right.
Because that is problematic.
It is.
So,
Always been a problem.
and, if there's any other remedies that are potentially out there, staff can bring those forward, but at this juncture, I'd just like them to take a look at that.
And Chief, you're listening to this, right?
And taking
What if we did something where you could, could you literally park on like the weekends when people have over on one side of the street? And everybody would, I'm just asking.
I don't know the measurements of the street. Dave would be a better one.
Because
but
we had to play with it to get
Used-
the funding we got.
We made it wider, but I think it's only 27.
It's a relatively narrow street.
I understand that, but Dave, in order to get the funding we got, what was it widened to, back to curb to back?
Oh, back. It's my fault.
It varied through the different sections along Deer Path. The section that you're talking about, I don't have an exact number as far as how much it was varied.
North Deer Path, what is that? That's like 30 plus feet, it's gotta be.
Yes, yes.
So, but this had to be widened, more so than, I think, a residential side street.
Yes.
In order to, you know,
Let me answer it.
they have connectivity to 2 straight routes.
Yes. Let me answer that in a different way. I don't know how much it changed. I know more what's there today. In terms of the width, it's probably 11 or 12 feet lanes, so you have a total of 24 feet of pavement. If you put a car on the edge, that's going to take up about 8 feet in width. So certainly you wouldn't want to do this on a curve, because people are going to have to go around it.
That is Deer Path.
That is,
That is Deer Path.
No, there is a straightaway stop.
Oh, yeah, maybe
There
three
really,
three driveways.
There's a straightaway from Sullivan down to about Monterey.
yep.
No,
But
it's
everyone
not. No, it's
knows
not.
when you have the experience of,
Dave,
Yes?
the straightaway basically runs from Sullivan south to what?
There is no no
Is
street.
it past,
Past
is
DeBille
it
Court.
past DeBille?
It is south of DeBille Court.
And how far south of DeBille Court?
It is between DeBille Court and the old Pelletier residence.
Okay, well, that's a little bit further than Linden, little bit further than DeBille. Okay,
It's not that much further.
it's far enough to give somebody, I mean, we should look at that.
well, why
And
don't
I'm
you
just
give us a
saying-
chance to look at an option? We'll come back with the numbers.
You know.
And then, you know, because trustee Schultz, as he mentioned, we talked about, it, you know, there's gonna be that monolithic asphalt/concrete look that you're gonna have to think about, because some driveways would butt right up next to each other, I would guess, on a few. But we'll take a look at all
You know,
that.
but in reality,
Yeah.
come on, who hasn't driven on a city street, in the hood, in the neighborhood? And please advise me, parking on both sides of the street, how wide are those?
Oh, you hold your
And
breath
people
sometimes.
seem to be able to negotiate them.
Back
So
in,
we want to become Chicago?
Misdemeanor.
back in.
I don't know, I would
We want to
think
become
you
better
wanna-
drivers.
You might want to become Chicago.
Well, that's what you just said.
Twen-
Well,
25
on one
years,
side of the street. I didn't say both sides, Tom.
Right.
25 years
Most-
ago,
you
when I
take a
lived
ride
in Chicago,
on a city street, which you haven't done in a long time. So you do that.
25 years ago, when I lived in
Okay.
Chicago,
just
Chicago
telling-
undertook
come on.
a major initiative to make more streets one-way. And in fact, the street that I lived on was converted from two-way to one-way
This side.
because it was way too narrow.
Okay,
But they do have parking on both sides, so it's still.
right.
Yeah, the straightaway goes 3 houses south of DeBille.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't, Tom.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right here.
Really?
Yeah.
Here, blow it up on the screen, will you,
Yeah.
so everybody can see
1,
it?
2, 3 houses, it
I
starts
know
curving.
it's not that.
Oh, it's not like a hairpin.
It starts
curve, for
curving.
God's
It's
sake.
so-
But straightaway goes 3 houses.
All right.
Let me look into that for you.
Thank you.
It doesn't look
Thank you,
like
Dave.
Lake Shore Drive to me, when it had to be straightened out. Come on. I mean, one side of the street might give them relief. On the weekends, if you're having people over, you know, family over, the kids over, you know.
I'm not buying.
But, yeah, I mean, some people went out knocking on doors during the last campaign, which is, I know, sometimes a novel thought. And, we talked to people up and down Deer Path, so hence, you know, trustee Schultz, concern. Chief?
I think the biggest
Chief, do
complaint
you
you
wanna
get over
weigh
there is
in
that
on
people
this one
speed up
before
and
we-
down Deer Path.
No, I concur with Dave. Let's take a good look at this, and we can line up some of our cars along one side of the street and see how well we can, negotiate the curves.
Why don't you take a fire truck and line it up there too?
Well, it's, you'll get
I mean-
you'll be able to get a fire truck through. The question is, you're not going to get 2 cars going the opposite
No,
direction,
right.
and the
You can always get a
traffic
fire truck.
is such on Deer Path that it's very heavy almost all day and
You know
night.
what, maybe it'll
with two-way
slow it
traffic.
down.
It's probably to a stop, because you're going to have somebody stop and wait for the cars going northbound before they can go south. If there's only 1 or 2 cars, you're right, it's a movable speed
But
bump, is
wait,
what we
if
refer
we're
to those.
doing this on the, if we do it on the weekend, we're not doing it on, during the weekdays.
That's when it's the busiest.
You're going to turn Saturday and Sunday into Monday morning. If you've ever had the opportunity to drive up and down Deer Path on Monday morning, when the garbage is being picked up, when the recycling is being picked up,
Right.
and when the school buses are schlepping
I
up
knew they were
and
gonna
down.
Always blame the school buses.
It becomes a regular Le Mans kind of.
Let us take a look at it. We can do traffic counts on the weekends. We can set up something, we can count the number of vehicles. We can take the measurements, we can place vehicles along Deer Path on one side and take some pictures so you'll get a visual of what it actually would be like and how hard it would be to traverse, north and southbound on Deer Path if cars were parked there.
Well, and I'll go so far as to say, in order to accommodate the people that live along there, maybe even you gotta go to the extent of having like kind of a speed bump.
I'm not sure,
But which
I don't want to
I mean,
shoot from the
again,
hip,
you got
but
it in the big city.
I'm not sure speed is an issue over there.
But isn't it been
Oh,
found
really?
that once you
Okay.
put in a speed bump,
No,
once they go over it, they accelerate away?
No,
No.
no, not if you do more than one.
Well,
The truth of the matter
I
is,
mean,
Slam on brakes.
this is a stretch that deserves it, in all honesty,
The
for
people
the
need
people
help
that
over
live
there.
Well,
And
I
our
really,
forefathers needed
my
stiff kick
focus
for allowing
is,
it to be
please,
built.
staff, the number one thing I'm asking you to look at is
They
the
were built
potential
before I
of
got here.
changing the zoning so we can accommodate 3 cars on a driveway on these short driveways. Ergo, allowing them to widen their driveways over a given period of
I
time.
certainly don't.
So why don't
that
we
if
take a
you
look
do
at
it.
this as the staff and get back to you?
Thank you.
10-4.
Okay.
Okay, I wanna go.
And there's no hope for a roundabout.
No,
I don't know. Let's put it this way, equal hope to that is having people empty their garage of stuff so they can park 2 vehicles in a 2-car
But more
garage.
accurately, it is a major problem for those
Right.
people there. And, it has been for
Quite a
40
while.
plus years,
exactly.
45 years, maybe some of them longer than that.
20 years at least because of the fact that they've reached a level of maturity and they have their parents living with them or they have grown children.
Multiple children?
Right.
Well, I don't know, so, it's always been a problem.
Yes.
It's always been a problem, so. But, maybe they'll push more people on the fairway. Allegedly, that was gonna help,
It
Deer
probably
Path.
did.
Well, it was
I
never
don't
to be
know.
a through street.
Do you think all the people that live anywhere south in town go up Fairway?
Depends where I'm going. If I'm going to Walmart, absolutely, I go up Fairway.
If you're going,
To
somewhere else.
PNC Bank, I'm going up Deer Path.
That's right.
Well,
So-
originally,
It's
there
still-
was,
Already
originally,
said
there
that
was no
3
plan to
times.
connect
Not
Harvest
really
Hills to Deer Path, was there? I thought it was. 'cause that was
100 years
Harvest Hill.
ago, I don't know.
'Cause that was original, wasn't that originally Harvest?
Okay, moving right along.
Yeah, whatever.
If
Okay.
the president would so deign, I'll make a motion to recess
Second,
/ adjourn.
All right, roll call.
Closed session.
There's a
Yeah.
motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
Does the second agree?
We're going closed session, personnel and
Go into
litigation.
closed session for personnel and what else?
Litigation.
And litigation. Okay, roll call.
Trustees Williams,
aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. Approval of committee of the whole meeting minutes of September 17th, 2013. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion is second. Comments or questions, corrections? If not, roll call.
Trustees Hebda,
Aye.
Cook,
Aye.
Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Motion carries. Request for Sleepy's for approval of facade renovations at 700 North Milwaukee Avenue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As the applicants come up to the podium, I can give you a summary. Sleepy's would be located in the space formerly occupied by O'Reilly's Furniture in Hawthorne Hills Square. between the Family Christian store and Subway. And there would be a remodeling of the facade in connection with this new store. There would be a new entrance canopy that would be constructed off the front of the store, and it would extend out from the face of the building approximately 10 feet 5 inches. The new canopy, overall width would be about 40 feet. The proposed height above grade would be 28 feet 2 inches, and so it would extend 6 feet 3 inches above the existing roof line in that particular area of the mall. There would be a cornice profile that would match that of existing profiles in the center. There would also be a new brick column that would be installed, aligning with the existing columns in front of the Family Christian store and Subway. And the sign band would be made of Drive-It, similar to Five Below, which is also in that center. A copy of the drawing showing the proposed elevation changes, along with a photo of the existing facade, is attached to your packet. And for tonight, if the committee feels the facade renovations are appropriate, then staff should be directed to prepare an ordinance approving the changes subject to the conditions outlined in your packet. And again, the applicant is here to answer any questions that you may have.
You don't have it?
Trustee Cook.
Do we have any drawings of the actual canopy? I mean, are you talking about what's already on the building, or are you talking extending out?
Oh,
This
Go
is
ahead and state your name for the record.
Mike Meyer. I'm with Timothy Morgan Associates in Northbrook. We were involved with much of the renovation in 2010.
Can you move everything forward because
where you're sitting, you can't see it.
I'm sitting right here, and I,
No, over to that side. And stop, right there, but you can point it more towards the front, next to each other.
there we go. The camera's up here. He's trying to get you to angle it so that can pick it up. There you go. Okay. Can you zoom in on that?
So this is the area we're talking about, the former O'Reilly's Furniture Space. It's between Subway and the Family Christian store. And the new canopy for the Sleepies would be from here to about the center point.
Right, but that's what I'm asking. Do you have any drawings of the canopy?
It would bump
That's
out.
right here.
No,
This
that's a flat drawing. Do you have any drawings of the canopy? What's it? I mean,
Canopy.
anything 3D?
3D, no.
See, because I can't really tell.
Well, what's happening is we're adding one masonry column, and it's going to be in line with both the Subway columns and the Family Christian store. So it comes out 10 feet 5 inches. So it'll be flush with these facades.
So
And it will butt
basically,
up to- Go ahead.
basically where that planting area is right now.
Right, with the planting area, the new column will be on the edge of the planter and right about in the center of the planter. And it also, this new column, the shaded one, falls between the two existing columns, one for Family Christian and one for Subway.
Okay, so you're going to bring a real, going to bring the whole building forward?
We're going to bring this much of the building forward 10 feet to match these two facades.
You're just bringing the upper part, not the entire store.
No.
Just
The existing storefront, it will be untouched. This is the door for the Family Christian Center. This is the door that was for O'Reilly's. This is all their glass. All that's remaining. We're not touching it.
So on the top drawing up there, show me the front edge. No, the top drawing over here, the new canopy, not the old picture.
Yeah.
Show me the front edge of the canopy.
It would be right along here.
Okay.
This other line here is for the awning, but the ephes itself and the structure itself is right here, even with the face of this brick and this brick.
And nothing sticks out beyond that?
The awning does.
Okay. Which is another couple feet at the most?
Yes.
Will the awning be at the same angle as the awning over Family Christian store?
I think they're going to be butted.
The blue?
The Subway.
It certainly could be. We haven't gotten to that level of detail. I mean, these existing awnings, they're going to be taken away. Obviously, they're at a different angle than the Family Christian store.
Well, you can leave a couple of them, right?
Well, no, the idea is to put in this new red awning for Sleepy's, and then between new Sleepy's and this column, we're going to put in a new blue awning.
Continuous awning.
Right, so that you can tell that this is all one store, which is the Family Christian store.
I think this is
Well,
blue
the
thing might be
entrance
an awning.
for the Family Christian store is to the left of the Family Christian store sign on my drive.
Correct.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
is.
It's right. It's
So
right here.
so your store comes right up to that door?
No,
On the interior,
no,
from an
the-
interior
the-
standpoint?
Just
Uh,
under there.
No.
It stops there?
Family Christian comes to here. Okay, so the Sleepy's goes
Oh.
from here to here.
Okay, well.
Well, actually,
All right.
in plan, it comes into about
All
this
right, so-
this mullion here.
What you guys have decided to do with Kimco is kind of push out the facade between the two.
To give the
Even though it's
Sleepy's a
Family
presence.
Christian. Now, is Family Christian gonna come in and change where their sign is?
I'm not dealing with Family Christian. I
It'll remain
don't
in the
know.
current location.
Okay, but you're gonna bring the facade out for you?
Correct.
No.
I apologize.
Not the
Just to
sec-
introduce, I'm Neil Goldberg. I'm the property manager with Kimco Realty, and with me is John DeWolf, who is our director of leasing.
Yeah.
No, Family Christian will remain as is, and what Sleepy's is looking for is something similar where they have their sign on an extended ephes.
So in other words, about halfway between where it bumps out now and the bump out for Family Christian, it's going to bump out about half of that, and about half of it's going to stay recessed.
That's right.
Correct.
Okay.
Right in between.
Thanks.
Okay, but what I don't like is it looks disproportionate because the ephes covers one column but not the other column. So you either cover both columns or you don't cover either column.
Oh.
But that looks weird to my eye. So like Family Christian, the columns both go up and they're the same color, that's how Sleepy
I
should
agree.
look.
Yeah, it looks where the orange part that
In other
sticks
words-
out, that's,
Family Christian has two dark-colored columns.
Going
I'm
straight.
Sleepy's is
sure
gonna
you
have
gentlemen
one dark
can
one.
all
The entire
see
store
what we're
does.
No,
talking
I
about.
know.
the
Right?
entire mall
Yes,
has.
you're
the
suggesting that we
walls
bring
up.
it up probably to this level.
Or you're
Yes.
making,
Yes.
And so
or, I
yours-
mean, are you gonna take,
I mean, your
You-
sign has still got plenty of room if you cut off that lighter color going up that one column. You'll still have plenty of room, but yeah, the columns need to stay the same color.
what are the existing columns? Are they brick?
Yes.
Mm.
And this
The-
is brick now?
Partially.
Well,
What's there now?
nothing now. This
Okay.
is this
well, then
whole
you
area
gotta-
is
you gotta
recessed.
you gotta make that brick all the way to the ceiling. That's kinda a given.
With me. Okay. Yes. So
You
that's
guys
not a
all
problem.
understand that?
Yeah,
or
no, I understand.
You all in agreement, or?
So
If you're gonna put the column in, it has to
Yeah.
Column
be
already
the
is.
same as the rest of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
has to look like what,
Make it like family.
one on Inconsistent.
What do you think, Neil? I mean, come on. Does it kinda look different?
Yes, I know. I know.
No, well, then
we
you've
have
gotta
to-
make your other little things a little bit smaller. You can still do that little thing, it just has to be in a smaller space.
Yeah, no, what Neil's saying is you may have to brick that left side of the,
You have to move it over.
You might have to brick both sides.
yeah, both sides where the sign, where the roof parapet drops down a few feet.
Uh-huh.
That may have to be bricked on both sides of that. Then it would look, because what, I believe what trustee Schwartz is saying, is she wants it to look like the way the
Uniform.
Family
Yeah,
Christian
family.
looks, right?
Well, either that or he's gotta cover the other side too, but it's gotta look uniform, that just.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this is all existing masonry. So all we're adding is this one, right? So I think what would look best was just to bring it up to this same level, and then it would be similar to this side.
Correct. Correct.
That's an easy change.
I'll grab a pen, I'll draw it on there now.
Okay.
This is a mattress store,
Yes.
Yes.
so we're gonna see mattresses and, we're gonna see bed frames in the front windows, right?
Yes.
That's not gonna make me happy. I'm sorry, Neil, it's not. if we can do something to make sure that it doesn't look like some of the typical mattress stores, that would be nice.
Yeah, right.
Right, understood.
So,
Just to kind of clarify who Sleepy's is, I don't know if you've heard much about them. They're from the East Coast. They have over 800 locations. They're the largest mattress retail chain in the country, and they're just coming to Chicago this year. They've signed 30 leases so far, and they're planning to do 80 stores total.
What do they do in
Chicago.
sales per store?
About $1.5 million on average.
So I'm not there.
$1.5 million to $2 million a store.
And then I'm trying
But
to
when you're
figure
looking
out
in the
how
window, you don't
that's
want to
over
just
here.
see some beds that just have mattresses on them, is what she's saying. She wants
this would be,
something a little more inviting and
Yes.
decorative.
Well, they're not gonna be able to, they're
Oh, I
not telling
know.
you anything, they're just shaking their heads here, so what do you wanna see?
We can tell you they're a national chain that.
Well,
No, 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 no.
Research.
It isn't the
Oh,
answer.
doesn't matter.
But I think
I
Gene,
just don't want to look
Yeah,
at like
come on.
the American mattress store that's across the street, and see a bunch of mattresses up there and
Oh,
these
yeah,
signs
no,
all
no.
over
Like the
that
one
say,
at 45 and
No,
Butterfield.
that's not the kind of
well, it's
operation
not
they
gonna be
are.
like, well, okay, so what's it gonna look,
It's gonna have mattresses.
well, what's it gonna
in the
look
window.
like then?
on the interior.
Yeah, but
Just
don't
Just
you
use
have
my
one of your other stores?
imagination, or
There's stores open all over Chicago.
Mr. Sandman will be like, waving to everybody as people come into the store.
No, no.
There'll be great
No,
rejoicing.
they have a nice showroom up in
Would
front.
it be models lying on the
We can
bed,
direct you
male
to
and
some stores
female,
already, so you can see for yourself.
Well, you're asking specific questions, and
Not
he-
me.
this guy's good. He's nodding his head. It's a nice. Maybe he's gonna nod off on us.
Well, there's got to be a better way to display like I am in search of a new mattress, but they all look so sterile. You walk in and you just got a bunch of mattresses on some bed frames. It's
Well,
like, can you
you
make
know.
it a little more inviting that I want to come into your store and have some type of, I don't
Well,
know,
what else?
festooning going on?
What do you want to buy a lamp there?
No, but you gotta decorate or something.
You sell headboards
You're
and
looking
that.
for a mattress.
Sleepy does.
Well,
But,
you gotta
gee,
make
would
it
you
look
feel more
appealing.
comfortable if they showed some wood like headboards and
Well,
stuff?
yes, there's
Well, you know what, if it
headboards,
were
but-
me, I would put a display of a bed with, the pillows and the I would do that, and that would invite your people into the store versus just a bunch of mattresses.
But
Yeah,
at least
make like-
put bedspreads on the bed
well,
with
Well,
the
at
pillows.
least in the
In
front.
the front.
To
in the
make it
front,
inviting.
make
I
it
don't-
look
these
inviting.
guys aren't sleepy though.
We don't work
Sleepy's
for
not here.
Sleepy's, unfortunately. but-
He's not sleepy. He's not sleepy. He's not, and I don't want to speak for these
What's
guys.
the closest
Closest
store?
one they have is in Bannockburn Green.
In
Where?
Bannockburn?
Bannockburn Green
Oh,
at
okay.
Waukegan
So
and Half
what
Day.
is that supposed to mean to us?
If you wanted to see one, however, that's an old
But is it-
Blockbuster space, so that's 3 sides of glass. That
Okay.
particular
Oh, wow.
store, so that's
So
a
what
little
is,
different.
what do they have in the windows there? Is that,
You
Mattresses.
see beds set up with headboards and
Yep.
pillows and.
so you got like bedspreads on the beds in the
No.
front windows?
No.
Just tell them
Go
to do
over and
that.
check out and
Okay.
see what it looks like.
We'll go see.
You will be that an ordinance.
Davis,
You know,
What is a sleepy?
you've only heard for a portion of the board on that issue. Okay.
Just from a female perspective,
Yeah.
who's shopping.
Right.
You know
Wanna be
what, though?
enticed to come in your
I'm
store.
gonna tell you something. When you go buy a bed, the man in the house goes too. You don't just buy a bed by yourself. That's the way it works. This isn't just the female shopping for a bed.
May I ask staff what they're looking for at this juncture from the board?
We're just looking for direction regarding the facade at this point.
I am comfortable with the facade.
No, I'm
Uh,
not.
With,
As is?
as,
Oh,
The change-
as suggested. the
as
changes.
suggested.
With the brick.
With the masonry.
change.
But before it comes back at board level, if we could see new drawings, it'd be greatly appreciated.
And we will get new drawings
Yeah.
for you. And just to clarify, I think we want to bring brick up to
See,
the corner.
Well,
how
it just has
family-
to be the same as like the
Fa-
family.
We want it the same as the family
It's
Christian store.
disproportionate right now.
So you
All
want,
of them should look alike.
If
you want-
one side is dark, the other side should be dark.
look at.
okay, so you
Subway.
want it to look like Family Christian store.
Well,
So you're
you
going to
can do
need to move
anything in
this over and
between,
bring the
but-
brick up.
So we actually widen it.
See, Subway's the same, same height of brick as Family is, if I'm correct at looking at that. So basically like to see, we
Unless
would
you
like
wanna
to see
take-
brick.
So actually make this wider?
No,
Yeah.
no, see, go to the far, to there you go, Michael, and make that brick. All the way
All
out,
the way up.
evenly with, yes.
Yeah.
Is that-
And
Now
you do
move
whatever
your
you
hand
want
out of
in
the way and
middle.
look at
And that's,
family.
and just that on the
Well, no,
right
wait,
side.
but then
For
you,
the
it,
families.
then Neil pointed out earlier, then you might need to balance it with a little more brick on the left side too.
What's different about Sleepy's is it'll have brick on one side, whereas Family clearly has brick on both sides. They could rework this corner to show it as,
Isn't that?
That's what I'm
isn't
talking
that
about.
one right
You might
there?
want to go
No?
brick on both sides of this, of the
There's
section
one
that has
already
the
out
sign.
there.
and to do that, they'd have to push the facade over to make it
No.
look good.
Well, they do
No.
that,
Oh,
or they
there's
put
one
the
there,
brick
look
on.
at the
Which
one
can be done.
behind you. Look at the picture behind you. There is a thing there.
It's already
On this
brick
end,
up to
there's one
that.
on both sides
If
of
you look
that.
up above O'Reilly, take a look at the,
In other words, I'm
It could
talking
be
from
done.
the, if, I'm talking from the top of the roof, where there's that one piece that sticks all the way up, down, straight down from both drops of that, would be brick.
they're covering it up.
This would come over a little, so the brick would come all the way up, just like Family Christian, and then match it over.
Oh,
there.
if you wanted to bring the roof rubber all the way over, that would work, yeah.
Then it would look like Family Christian,
Yes.
if that's what the board wants. Yeah.
Right, we'd move it to similar, we could balance it.
You know, they should chunk.
Exactly.
See the one
That would work.
right, the lip?
Or you make the
That
whole
lip?
thing smaller and you got the brick on each side, so the brick looks the same going up. the
Either way.
column. Either way.
So I think the board's direction is to make Sleepy's facade look similar to Family Christian
Yeah.
facade.
Yes.
The look, it's-
To make it consistent, that's
Okay.
all we're asking.
So we'll get the revised drawings from the applicant, have it on the next agenda for you.
Okay.
Or,
We can say no.
with Sleepy's, you go to the left, stay with Sleepy's though. You see where the window is? No, right, is that a window?
Yeah.
Yes.
You drop a brick column down there, and then it looks,
Yes, you could do that.
well, I'm just asking, I might,
Well,
just drop it down, and then Sleepy's looks kinda unique.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, though, that subway.
But does
the
that
building-
block, the entrance to the door?
Pretty
I don't
close.
know. Because it's gonna make it a wider pillar. A who? Yeah, okay, fine, well then,
These columns are already 6 feet wide, so
Yeah, right.
you're talking about
Okay.
12 feet of masonry then.
so,
See,
figure it out.
rear of the building. Sleepy's goes further.
we'll ask the petitioner to figure out an elevation that matches or is very similar to that of Family Christian store, and we'll have that back before you then.
Great,
Okay, so that means
let's go home and
the
sleep.
both of them.
The boat.
Yeah, let's go home and sleep on it.
Sleepy's looks similar to Family Christian.
But the columns would be the same.
Exactly, with the brick way up high and,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot more brick on the elevation.
We'll come back with something.
Oh,
Okay.
now you found
So I think there was, so I guess you guys will talk about the motion.
Well, I gotta go like this with all the cages. Okay. Here you go on this. Oops, I'm sorry.
That's all right. It's up there.
Well, yeah, what do we,
Where do we-
there's nothing to approve then.
Yeah. wait.
So the motion would be to direct staff.
Unless you wanna have it ready for a board meeting.
Yeah, we
Unfinished business.
Oh, that's right.
we could put it on unfinished business. So the motion would be to direct staff to prepare an ordinance that approves revised elevation drawings showing Sleepy's elevation matching that of the Family Christian store, and also to have the revised drawings in front of you for the next meeting.
Okay.
So made.
Second.
Motion is second.
Third it.
Roll call.
Trustees Markwart,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Schwartz,
Aye.
Williams,
Aye.
Hebda,
Aye.
Cook.
Aye.
So that-
Motion carries. Let Sleepy's go forward.
Okay.
Take a nap.
Is that next meeting then in 2 weeks or next month?
15th.
15th, okay.
15, yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe bring me some pictures of what their displays look like.
Yeah,
You would've seen that.
pictures like bedspread.
No, I just want to see the
and,
outside, from the outside looking in, what it looks
Sure.
like.
I'll ask the
I'll make
marketing
some
department to send me some photos of their stores.
Thank you.
Right, because they don't have too many in the area yet, but they're
Right, yeah.
opening them.
Tonight, because they got a-
Right, thanks Cindy.
Comfortable.
Have some throw pillows on the bed.
Well, I think it'd be, never mind.
Any particular colors you like?
Oh,
Okay,
all right.
next,
Next is the Muni.
golf course
Who's
patio
here
enclosure.
representing the Muni? Where's
Nobody.
the pro at?
I'll be the pro for the day.
No, you're not.
Okay.
Where is he? Where's the pro?
He's not here.
He doesn't need to be here for this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can represent whatever.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Oh, okay. Well, I won't vote on it then. I'll answer questions.
We've had some opportunities to discuss this, go out to the site. What we're talking about is the patio enclosure. There's one that exists. It's in disrepair. It needs some modernization. We were able to get some quotes. We're looking at this proposal would be approximately $6,100. There's a couple of things we tweaked today. Mike Atkinson was real helpful in terms of the smoking codes and what that allows. So with his advice, it really helped in trying to allow some circulation, meet our codes for that. So I worked through that today, and that's not included in the quote, but that's some hinges, and I don't expect that it's going to increase much over the $6,100. We may have to have another $250. So basically that's the numbers. Here's what the proposal is. There's two parts to it. There's a lower part, as you remember. So going off of the brick wall, there's a railing going along the one side, and then the longer one that you can view the golf course, an opening for the sidewalk, staircase area, and then we have another area here that is not in play in terms of this proposal. We'll just add the part that separates the two patios. We have that existing material. We're not proposing to spend additional money to replace that. So what our proposal is for the lower railing area, they would use a frame such as this. It would be a solid sunbrella product. Instead of red, we recommend that it's a darker color similar to the railing. It's going to fit inside the railing. It's going to be an aluminum frame and a hard panel, darker color completely around the bottom. So frame and this material. Now we have the upper section above the railing. We want to be able to see out at the golf course. So as part of that, it's not exactly like this. What we want is an aluminum frame, and then we looked at trying to either have a sunbrella and then a clear part, but we looked at the cost. We looked at maintenance if we ever had to repair this or replace it. What we're looking to do for the upper viewing part is to have the frame itself, and then it's actually plexiglass that we're looking to attach to the metal frame. So ignore this part. It's going to be metal and plexiglass. So the plexiglass you can see on all sides. Instead of the part that would fail here is really going to be the stitching and this material here. With the plexiglass, if there's any problems with it, you can remove the plexiglass, buy a new sheet of plexiglass, and then put it back up. So that's why we decided to recommend plexiglass rather than going with some vinyl. This material tends to scratch, fade. It's harder to clean. A plexiglass, soap and water, squeegee, and you clean it.
So it's going to look
It's
like
going to
a
last
window.
us much longer.
It's going to look like a window.
It's going to look like a window. We'll be able to see out better. One of the things in terms of the smoking considerations, the one wall that when you leave the golf course, go onto the building, you go onto the patio, you look to your right. That one railing that you tend to roll up and roll down, what we're looking to do is have a hinge on that side. So with the hinge, winter, it's cold, etc., that part will be up. And then if you ever needed to adjust it, you have a hinge and you just fold that part down. It won't touch the ground. It's just going to be folded out of the way. And then you can have, if it's a nicer day over the winter, you can allow air back and forth through that. So that's one of our solutions in terms of that side. We're really looking at about $6,100 plus maybe a little budget for modifications. That's really what we think that is needed out there. Wanted to present it to the board, see if you had any questions about it.
How long will it
Jeannie
last?
certainly has some thoughts on it.
How long will it last?
We think that the plexiglass is going to last about 10 years, as long as no one shatters it. It's not something that we're anticipating it would shatter. If it gets hit, gets damaged, we can pull it out, replace it, minimal cost to do that.
Is it like the consistency, like the glass at a hockey game?
Not as thick, but same material.
Okay.
Yeah.
No hockey pucks.
All right. Trustee Schultz.
So it's a Lexan grade plexi. You're going for the high end. You're not going for just a standard plexiglass, but a Lexan grade so that, yeah.
We've looked at Lexan and polycarbonate and different types of plexiglass. Some of the Lexan, my understanding, tends to yellow. So that the contractor and in our research, Sugar Creek has Lexan type lights and they tend to yellow. So we're actually looking for more of a plexiglass than Lexan. So that's what we're
The scratch
recommending.
resistance level will be the equivalent with the Lexan?
Similar.
Okay.
Trustee Cook.
So basically, you're replacing what's existing. And then my question was that the flip-up part is going to be on the south end or the north end? Towards the...
The south, it's going to be
Towards
by
the barn,
heater.
towards the...
Yeah.
Towards the maintenance barn.
Okay.
Yes.
But it's basically replacing what's there now.
Replacing what's there, putting them into frames, solid on the bottom, plexiglass on the top. Right now, also the supports, there's supports that's holding up the canopy. Right now, they're round, and they have wood that has been, okay, you have a semicircle, so you can have a square stock that you can attach something to. Like this, it needs to be square. Right now, the existing posts that hold up the canopy, those are round. They're going to, as part of this, remove those, put in square stock, which this will marry up to fantastically and fasten it, and it'll hold and support it better. So that's
But is
included in their
there
price.
any air opening at the top or the bottom?
There will be approximate, because there's some drainage, so there's some slope to it. We probably have about an inch on the bottom to allow airflow back and forth.
So the only open air area is to the north?
The north has, north is odd if we're talking, which way do you call north?
That way.
Well, I
Or
mean,
facing
well, one
45.
up there.
Left as you walk out
Here,
the
let
door.
me go.
The staircase
45
side.
is north.
Yeah,
That's east.
kind of north, Deer Path is north.
Okay.
I think that goes a pretty due north.
That is very due north.
Okay.
Okay. So the staircase side is going to be completely open. The part that you're looking and facing towards Deer Path, we have the opportunity, because we have the existing material, they're not going to make any changes. What we used last year, we will put that out
It's a
there.
windscreen,
It's a windscreen,
which is
exactly.
clear. Okay. Now, with that said, the canopy the awning that is there now, okay, was what, 15 grand?
That predated me. I don't know the exact
What do you mean
cost.
predated you? You've been here.
But my involvement in it.
Oh, Ed. Oh, it's called Ed then.
Yeah.
What did it cost, Gene?
I don't know offhand.
It's about 15 grand. Okay. My suggestion is, at some point, do we actually do like a canopy over the other part of the deck? Okay? Wait a second. To accommodate the people that don't smoke. Because the people that don't smoke, you're not going to your right when you come out that door. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So I guess,
Well, you'd have an architectural issue there because you've got the cathedral windows
Yeah.
to
oh,
deal
what?
with.
So it'd be up higher.
Yeah, it would have to, and it would need to be peaked in the opposite direction. No, it's not a bad idea. I'm not,
Well, I'm just saying, I'm sure, the truth be known, there's a lot of people that don't go outside when they're at the 9-0.
Well, are you talking summer or winter? Because I
I'm
like,
talking any time of
oh,
year.
in the summer, I like the idea of you have an area you can go that's not covered. So you have an option.
Okay, but why don't,
You-
okay,
yeah,
what
you
would
have an
hap-
option if you
all right,
smoke.
what
You
would
don't have an
happen-
option
what
if you don't
What would
smoke.
happen if you said that's where the smokers go?
You're right outside. The smokers have never.
No, no.
That personally bothered me. I can sit on either side.
No, I
because-
understand that, but you can't speak
There's a
with
lot of people that
absolute
it does, though.
objectivity, Gene. In essence, what if you said all the smokers gotta go to the left?
But for the most
And there's
part,
nothing above your head?
but for the
and-
most part in the winter, when you go outside, it's the smokers going outside anyway.
No,
I,
you're not listening to me at all, Tom. I'm talking spring, summer, and fall. The smokers go to the left.
I'm not sure if I pointed out in terms of these,
I mean,
they
it's
are
like the
removable.
cathedral there that holds everything.
I have.
I mean, you walk out, you know, if you're not a smoker and you see what's going on right under and it's held in there.
Well, okay, that's a point, but I also don't want to cover the whole patio because some people like to still sit outside, not underneath the patio, not underneath an awning,
you
and they
could
can just
simply
enjoy.
tell
Some
the
people
people that
would like to
smoke.
sit in the shade too.
You could,
so,
yeah,
you
and
know.
people that don't smoke
people
are
do.
not sitting over there,
No,
right?
not
Come
on,
on.
Okay, so
for
we
the
can.
No,
most
Gene,
part,
show
no.
some objectivity.
No, I know
do.
that. I
Okay.
know that. So
Okay.
we could just take that whole side and say non-smoking if that's what you want to do.
And tell people that smoke, you gotta sit over
Well,
there.
if you want to be technical,
Well,
I'm not supposed to be smoking that close to the door anyway.
No, I measured it. There's one table that they can't smoke, and I got a sign on
yeah.
there.
But I'm just saying, that would
Oh, I haven't seen
eliminate,
him not smoking at any table.
that would, you know, in essence, if you went to the left, that would handle the whole issue.
What whole issue?
It's people smoking outside.
Why don't we just tell them they can't
Me.
smoke outside then?
Okay, then maybe that's what we,
I think you
are you recommending it? That's
No,
great.
I'm
And
not.
you can't-
I said, what I'm
and
saying
you
is I
can't
can understand
speak
what
to
Roger's
this,
saying,
Gene. You
because he's
can't
correct,
speak
I'm
because
there
some
all
people
day
might
long.
want
Of
to.
course I can speak to it. I had to deal with them when I was sat behind the bar and the smokers were smoking in my face. I
There
had
you
to
So are
deal
you,
with
are
that.
you gonna vote on this then? What we're discussing tonight?
We're discussing the patio. If I can't vote on the enclosure, then I won't vote on it.
You can't, Gene.
Okay.
I'm just saying it would make it infinitely easier if you're smoking, go to the left.
But in the winter, they can't because their space is blocked.
Winter, you know, we can figure it out so long as it's compliant.
All right, I just got lost. What?
Well, have you been there before?
Yeah,
We've
no,
all been there, you know, I'm
then
just
let's
saying.
figure that out
I'm
as a
lost in
separate
the
issue. Separate
conversation
issue
is what
from
I
this
said.
Yeah.
Facade.
No, it's not really.
Well,
What's the difference?
Where the smokers smoke is a separate issue from us putting up a new
yeah, yeah.
It
enclosure.
doesn't really
I
matter.
didn't, okay, I'm not saying putting up a new closure. I'm just saying, if you're smoking, you should go to the left because it's open air.
Well, if somebody's there
Right,
that
well,
doesn't
except in the
smoke,
winter,
but-
they won't have that option because their space will be blocked going to the left. But that's a separate issue from this enclosure.
Yeah.
Which we can discuss further, which is
So
fine.
what's
It's
that?
not really a separate issue because the enclosure is intended for what purpose? Are you saying it's not for smoking?
In the wintertime, yes, it is.
If that's what we want to make it.
Okay?
It's so people are comfortable if they want to go outside and be outside, and if they're smoking or not smoking, it is so that they're more comfortable.
Separate issue.
I was gonna say, well, then from a Three Seasons perspective, maybe we should just screen it in.
Why do we need a screen? We're just trying to keep the cold out in the dead of the winter.
What about the bugs? Oh, the winter. Okay, now you're on, I'm talking, we live in a four-season climate.
Yeah, and this is gonna go in like the end of November and be taken out like in April.
Yeah, this is only going to be up in the winter.
It's just up in the winter, and then it comes out.
Yeah.
And so in the spring, what are we gonna do? You're gonna tell people to go smoke to the left or go
Well,
smoke
that's
to
issue.
the
If
right?
you wanna do that,
Which
fine.
we can discuss
It's a
that.
separate issue. We gotta be compliant, Tom.
But it's a separate issue
But
from
it
whether or not
is,
we
as
want to
long
put the
as
new facade
She's
on.
got it designated, so it is.
We're compliant either way. We're compliant when he puts this up, so that when it's up in the dead of winter, we've got our 30% space that we need to have open, so we're compliant. And as soon as we take it down, we're compliant because there's all kinds of open air and they can smoke it.
Well, aren't we
We're
supposed to
outside
be
15
compliant, all
Well,
year?
We are, because it's.
We are right now.
She's measured it, Jeannie has measured it off
Right.
and marked the table that you can't smoke at. Even if you are when you
And
come out of the
then
door and go to the right.
He made sure that we're gonna have that 30% openness, so we're compliant in the winter when he puts these up.
Trustee Schultz?
One other question that just came to mind is that the existing canopy material, where are we at on its lifespan? And would it be appropriate to also replace that at this particular juncture, just because we're redoing the support posts and everything else?
The support of that is something separate. I did look at the condition of it. I think we still have some useful life of it.
Well, the
And
only point I'd like to bring forward is that I was sitting out there one day when it was raining, and it was wicking the moisture through and dripping down along the support rib, so that the fabric itself either needs some kind of coating on it to improve its imperviousness to water transmission, or potentially we may be past a reasonable expectation of quality life of that canvas. So just putting that out there.
I appreciate that comment.
Now, okay, and since we're talking about, I guess, enclosing this space more so for the winter months, even though what we have now, we can
I
put it
wonder how
up
much
and
it's gonna
down.
cost.
That's 6,900 so far.
Oh.
But it's, at what point would it make sense too, then to put some kind of radiant heat out there? Attached to
The building.
the support structure below the canvas. As opposed to having a propane, not propane, but gas-fed, the outside patio heaters.
One of the things that you asked me as part of the Kemper budget last year was to look into some CIP needs, whatever the board's desires are. If there's certain things that you think are important for us to look into prices and bring it back to, we can do that.
Okay. I would certainly like to see some kind of other heating system out there, because the one that exists is marginal at best.
If you think that that's something we can't wait for another budget cycle and we should look at for this winter, then
Well, I'm just
whatever the
saying,
direction
if
is.
we're gonna be doing this, at what point do we address that, But,
I think you may want to wait on that, because you may need some infrastructure improvement to support the radiant
Yeah, I don't know.
heaters,
I
so.
don't know. But, I mean,
The heat between that and the fire pit is satisfactory for the people that are going to use it.
I understand it, but, okay.
Well, I would just like to add, for the people at home are probably sitting there going, why are they doing this at the golf course? We're doing it at the golf course because we have year-round parties going on at the golf course. It's
Right.
become, it really is a great place to have a party.
Yep.
Whether it's year-round or summer or winter,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's a good place for it, and it does give people that do smoke a place to go to and smoke.
Or even on the not-so-cold nights to sit at the fire pit and enjoy just
True.
being outside.
Exactly. I forgot about the fire pit. Yes. It's,
Staff
nice.
looking for direction here, not an ordinance, right? Huh? Oh.
I think we really
I'm
need
doing the bed
direction.
thing right now.
Staff's looking for concurrence, whether or not we should move forward with replacing the
Yeah,
Enclosure.
I believe that we need to, and we should. My only suggestion is that we take one more quick look at the quality of the canvas in place right now and decide whether or not we want to replace that canvas at the same time.
Well, then I would certainly recommend some other type of heat source that would be radiant.
And both of those operations can continue separate of this proposal.
I would think they could. I think you can move forward with this, but looking at those other two.
Okay, understood. Any other comments from the board? I think otherwise I have my direction.
I like what you showed us so far.
Okay.
Okay, it's nice that we didn't require him to have any photographic evidence or any detailed
I'm
drawings.
not going there.
He just brings in a product sample, which
Well-
isn't exactly
Oh, we have
consistent with
photographs.
everybody else that came in here
You
tonight.
have photographs, don't you?
Really?
Aren't those?
Oh, this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, this?
yes.
Looks like a hotel to me. You know,
Just an example of
I
how
thought it
they've
looked like
done
a
something
train station, to
similar
be honest with you.
as this.
it could be Rosemont, going from the parking garage. Okay, whatever. All right.
Thank
So
you.
do we need no action on this then?
I don't know. That would be,
So you want to make a
What do you
motion to expend how many dollars?
No,
It has to,
not yet. He needs to do his homework.
Yes.
he's just asking for if he's heading the right way.
Yes.
Kinda.
Don't
All
ju-
right.
Don't jump on that pony and
Okay.
leave town yet, is what he's
Is there a
saying.
motion to adjourn and go into closed session to discuss litigation and personnel?
So
So
moved.
made. Second.
Motion second, roll call.
I don't know what it is.
Trustees Cook,
No, it's just Chrome.
Trustee Cook.
communications.
Who do I
To
want?
adjourn.
Roll call.
I think what he needs to do
Markwart.
is put a few of those things together and talk.
Mike,
Markwart.
do
Sure
roll
that
call.
I'm listening.
to adjourn.
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
roll
That's
call
much
vote.
faster.
Yeah, Jesus Christ,
I
okay.
do it all the time.
All right.
I think this one popped up yesterday, Friday when I was trying to, what the
Well,
hell?
what's Dave's direction? What's Dave's direction? Are we gonna have this up by November?
No, there's no direction. It was like
It was
convoluted.
No, he can go forward with the wall